Hi, so Marcia and Joy here, Action Coach Jamaica, and today our topic is going to be to choose faith over fear. I know the last time we spoke, I spoke on the topic of the Stockdale paradox, but today I want to look at the option. This is a choice, and that word where we say choose faith over fear. Because many of us are concerned as we approach 2021. And yes, they have found a vaccine, or many, and it will take time for us to get it. In the interim, though, we still have to ensure that we are planning for the future. But many of us are very worried. And what I want to say is, as we approach 2021, to steady ourselves, and instead of having fear of the unknown, how long is this going to take for this pandemic to go away, is instead to be saying, I choose faith. I choose to have faith over fear. I am choosing, I'm making that choice. Because as we move into 2021, many of us know that there are problems that we are experiencing in our business right now. And we're sometimes trying to bury our head in the sand and pretend they don't exist. But if we continue to run away from those problems, they'll only just get bigger. And what right now we're feeling as Mack trucks, as taps on our shoulders. And I want to say some of the taps that we're feeling right now could be negative cash flow, not making profits, not knowing what to do, not sure how to make the transition. It's now at the end of almost the end of November. The business is still not taking off the ground, and you're not sure what to do. Many of us don't understand our numbers either. And so if we continue to ignore the taps that we're feeling right now on our shoulders, they'll become what we call 2x4s. And then eventually they'll turn into a Mack truck and mow you down. Now, I don't want us to get to that point. And the reason why some of us are not doing anything is because we're choosing fear. And with fear, what fear means and why they're staying the way they are is because of what we call false expectations appearing real. And what are some of the reasons why some of us stay in fear? And for some of us, it's the fear of loss. It's the fear of moving away from what is known to what is unknown. It's the fear of the comfort zone, of coming out of our comfort zone or even expanding. It's the fear of change. For others, it's the fear of the process. You know, to pivot, I have to do certain things. I may have to market. I'm going to have to maybe change out the team I have. I may have to upskill myself. I'm going to have to learn new things. I may have to move my business online. I'm not sure what to do. The process. I'm going to have to understand financials. I'm going to have to learn how to lead and manage people. We may have to change things. I may have to move from the location I'm in. Just lots of different reasons. And so the fear of the process and what we just feel like, oh, I just want to curl back into a ball. Many of us are thinking that come January 1, 2021, it's as if everything will change. I hear people saying, I'm dying to see the end of 2020, as if because we move from one calendar year into the next, that things will just automatically be different. Folks, I have to give you the bad news. Things won't just change because the calendar flips from one year to the next. we're still going to have the same challenges. It's going to take time for us to get vaccinated. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And it's not that I'm trying to be somebody who is giving a lot of doom and gloom, but what I'm saying is, folks, is that we have to prepare ourselves. So that process of getting ready for 2021, the first thing is we have to face the reality. So for some of us, it's the fear of the process. And what makes it even more fearful is that we don't know exactly how to do it. So the process seems overwhelming. When I talk about, do you have a budget for 2021? Are you budgeting for profit? Do you know your margins in your business? When you're pricing, do you know the difference between markup and margin? Do you understand how to read your financials? How often do you look at it? Do you even start the year with a plan? And I see people's eyes glazing over. Do you have job descriptions for your team members? Do you have your org chart developed and you have everything to hold your people accountable, the structure that you will need, the systems in place, the processes? And everybody is, I see the overwhelm. And it's because it's new. And that fear of the process also is because at the same time, we're not sure. So the process seems even more overwhelming. And for some of us, we're afraid to even ask for the help. And another reason why people stay where they are is a fear of the outcome. All right, so I'm gonna try something new. It's the fear of, but what if I try it and I fail? It's not the opposite, the fear of success. And for some of us, it's even the fear of success. What if I do succeed and my business just becomes overwhelmed and I can't manage? So a lot of times we stay where we are, and all of those things are what we call fears. But you know something? Fear is just a thought of a what if. It's just a what if. What if I can't? What if this happens? What if? But if I was to ask you, have you handled everything in your life to date? When you look back, there are many things that we probably feared before, but now they're no longer. You handled it. So, yeah, great. Then, if that happened then we can assume, folks, that you'll handle everything else that comes your way. So your new saying should be, yes, it's the unknown. Yes, it will be a new process. Yes, I'm going to have to expand my comfort zone. But you know something? I can handle it. I can handle it. And so I want to show you what we call the formula for change. And I really want to explain it to you because, this formula for change, what we're actually saying here in this formula for change is that you have to, this formula is a greater than formula. It's not an equal. And so as we approach 2021, we have to really get clear. So the D stands for dissatisfaction. We're dying to see the back of 2020 because we have been very dissatisfied for some of us, because some of us have done amazingly well in this environment. So we have the pain that we're trying to run away from, the dissatisfaction of 2020. But we say at the same time, multiply that by the strength of the vision of what you want. So when I say choose faith over fear, it's instead of fearing because of the dissatisfaction that we have felt, it's choose instead to focus on the vision of what you want and not what you don't want. So what we all need to start developing right now is, what's our vision for 2021? What's the goal that we have for 2021? And then to multiply that, it's the strength of the dissatisfaction times the vision. So firmly embed in your mind and be very, very clear on what is it that you want to have in 2021. That's the vision. That's the goal. And yes, think about, the dissatisfaction, the pain of 2020, what happened? Yes, I don't want to repeat it. And so what will I have to do? That's the first steps. So the dissatisfaction times the vision of what you want, plus the first steps. So remember what I said, for some people, it's that first step, the first steps is knowing what to do. And that's when I said some people have the fear of the process. They're not sure how to overcome the fear, how to do the things that they're fearing. And so we say, have a strong vision of what you want. Yes, commit to the fact that, listen, the dissatisfaction I had, I don't want it anymore, but this is what I want. Plus the first steps, you need to learn, you need to get that, you need to access the information so you understand what's the process, how, once you know what you're doing. Many of us fear things because it's uncertain. It's something new. We don't know how to do it. But if instead we know what to do and we get the information to help us with the first steps, then that can overcome that resistance, which is fear. So I want you to apply this formula. That's the formula you apply to overcome your fear. And so what we help you with in Action Coach is helping you with the first steps so you can overcome that fear. Because for many of us, the fear of process, the fear of loss of control, and the fear of the outcome. And if you have a pathway, if you have the information, if you have the skills, it will help you better to overcome that fear, because now you know that I have a way to achieve this vision and to get away from the dissatisfaction or the pain that I'm feeling. And so one of the things that we say is to overcome that fear is whatever it is that you fear the most, is to simply just do it. So keep moving and growing and asking yourself, what is it that I fear? Then just do it. What is the information I need to have? Who do I need to talk to? What resources will I need to overcome this fear of either loss or the process or loss of control or the outcome? Whatever it is, I need to get that information so that I can overcome that fear. Because remember, I want you to understand something. Fear is a choice. We can stay where we are, or we can decide instead to have faith, and have faith that, listen, I can have a better year. I can do things differently if I just learn the first steps. And so one of the things we have to be doing now, folks, is expanding our comfort zone, trying new things, doing new things. And to do that, folks, we're going to have to understand this thing called perturbation. As we start to learn new things, which is what people fear is a process. When you start something that you're not used to doing, you're going to feel that perturbation. But folks, in order for us to grow, we need that pressure. 2020 has put a lot of pressure on us. We're feeling the pressure. And just like when water boils and turns from liquid to gas, many of us are feeling that emotion. The pressure is causing some of us to give up or to break down. But I'm telling you, folks, if you just push through that perturbation by also seeking help, then you will come out the other end. But we're going to have to go through that stage. So right now we're feeling the pressure of everything that has happened in 2020. That's what happens when we go to coach clients, as we start to give them new things, the first steps, how to plan, how to do the budgeting, how to understand your numbers, learning, growing. In the beginning, it feels like a lot. They feel overwhelmed. And there's that pressure, and some just, like, I can't do it. But folks, we have to choose instead. And so one of the things I want to say, Jack Canfield said this, and I want us to understand this, that, he has his formula, E plus R equals O. And what that means is E is the event, R is our response, and O is the outcome. So let me tell you what we can choose. If an event happens, like I have a bad day, Some of us choose the negative responses. We choose fear instead. So if we have a bad day, our response is ungratefulness. Oh my God, woe is me. And so the outcome is negative. Some of us, when great stuff happens to us, we choose instead to have fear, thinking, oh my God, okay, how long will this last? I am sure something negative is around the corner. Something bad is going to happen. Some of us, we're looking at the economy, and what we choose, our response is to doubt. Will it ever get better? Will it ever get better? And we start to fear that. So again, it's negative. If we lose clients, many of us may have lost clients, we start to have pessimism that we're going to lose more and we won't get any more clients. And then if someone dies, as is happening right now with COVID, then we just feel like quitting. What's the problem? Why bother? I just want to give up. And unfortunately, we're seeing some people doing that, giving up and committing suicide, because the thought of starting over again or trying something new is just so hard. But I want you to say, folks, that we can choose instead. We can choose instead to have a different thought. Let me tell you what we can choose. What we can choose, folks, is to have faith. Faith is a choice, just like how fear and worry is a choice. When we fear and worry, it's just thoughts of what ifs. What if we turn the what ifs from negatives into positives? So with faith, we can choose faith or we can choose fear. And yes, Leg Eco Art, you're so right. We attract our reality. So I'm going to repeat his words. So if you think positive, then only positive reality. Even through negatives, there are positives. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so we must have faith. And with faith, when you fear, what happens is that there's chaos in your mind. Oh my gosh, with fear comes confusion. Thoughts just jumbling over and you just can't focus. But with faith, to have faith, you have to have faith in something. The moment you say, I choose faith, it means I've chosen to have faith in something. And with that something, there is clarity because you have chosen a goal. Is that formula for that formula for change, where you say, listen, I'm going to have a vision. I'm going to have faith in my vision. I'm going to have faith in of the vision of my life and of my business in 2021. I am not going to choose instead to fear negative things. I'm going to have faith. With faith comes clarity. With faith comes achievement. Because once you are clear on the goals and the vision of what you want to have, is that you now set your mind and your body and everything else. You take your team, you take you start planning to move in the direction of the goals that you have clearly set. So with faith, we have faith in something and we start to set the goals. And then with every step that we take, we achieve more. With fear is chaos and atrophy. Right? Because one of the things with fear and chaos, you notice when people fear, what they start to do is to just go into the bed, they start to roll up in a ball. So with fear, they start to just curl up. Their feelings, and I want you to understand, your feelings impact your actions. And so with fear and chaos, you don't make any moves. You start to hold back your business because you are not taking action. You are not seeing the opportunities. Because of the negative things you're focusing on, that's what you start to attract into yourself. And because you're so afraid of change and of the process, instead of growing, you start to shrink. Both in the business and in yourself. With faith comes power. Faith says, that if it is to be, it's up to me. But I also say, because I'm a Christian, it's up to me with the grace of God. But I have faith. I have faith that I can move forward. I have faith that I can achieve the goals that I have clearly set. But it's a choice, and you make it first mentally. But with fear comes paralysis, and I'm seeing it. You just feel chaos, you start to shrink back, and then you just paralyze because you just don't know what to do, and you just stop. And if that happens, folks, for sure your business will die. For sure you'll achieve nothing. So I really want you to take a screenshot, take a picture, I don't care what you want to do. Look at this. Put it up on your wall. And I want to say something as well. When those fear and those feelings of fear start to come in, because they are emotions, you must speak to those emotions, and you must speak words of faith instead to it. Tell it powerful words. I am successful. I am on my way to being a great business owner, a great leader. You have to start speaking to your feelings. It's not every feeling that you feel you must act on. Just because you wake up and you don't feel like exercising doesn't mean you don't get exercise. You get up and you tell your body, get out of the bed and go exercise. I already did my exercise this morning. I didn't feel to hear the rain was falling, but so what? You can't run your life and your business on feelings. As leaders, we have to step forward every single day in faith, taking actions, holding firmly to the vision of what we want for our business. Holding firmly to it, folks, and holding on to that vision with absolute faith that it is yours. Faith. So the other thing I want to say as well is, instead now, folks, if we're going to choose faith, when events happen to us in 2020, 2021, even if you have a bad day, your response is going to be, yeah, today is bad, but something, I have so much to give thanks for. I have so much to give thanks for. Look at all the things that I have. I'm not in Nicaragua. My house is not full of mud. I have sunshine. I have a roof over my head. I have the ability as a business owner to still go out and change my outcome, go market, go sell, pick up the phone, talk to clients, whatever it is that I need to do. I give thanks. I'm alive. So you come up with a positive outcome if your response is gratitude. When great stuff happens, don't instead say, listen, you think that things are going to get bad. Instead, when great stuff happens, have the faith. Your response is, yes, I got a client today. Something? I'm going to get some more this evening, and tomorrow I'm going to get some more, and we're going to keep going. You have to speak to yourself. You have to speak to your mind. You have to say, I will not be ruled by my feelings. Right? It's just not what I will have happening to me. Right? Then when you choose faith, in addition to that, it's again positive. Outcomes will happen. I want you to understand, the event plus the response equals the outcome. You choose the response. Folks, I'm going to say to you, you can't always choose what happens to you, but you can choose how you respond. And that is something that is so powerful. I'm a John Maxwell coach as well. I remember John Maxwell saying, that sometimes, yes, your emotions influence your actions, but I'm going to also say something. Your actions influence your emotions. So sometimes if you don't feel something and you don't feel like doing something, if you just get up and act your way through it, get up and say, I'm going to do it, then you can start to change your emotions. Because the moment you get up, you didn't want to exercise. You're feeling awful. All right, you go exercise. At the end of the exercise, you know what happened? You feel so much better. Or there was a task, a proposal, a project, so a phone call you should have made. You didn't feel up to it. You are afraid to do it, whatever it is. But you said, you know something? She said, my actions influence my emotions. So I'm going to act even if I don't feel. And you know how you feel after you pick up the phone and you call the prospect and imagine the prospect said to you, yes, I want the order. So we need to not let our emotions rule us. And if the economy is bad, have belief instead that it will get better. That's your response. You choose that response. It's a positive response. If you lose a client, yeah man, optimism. Don't worry. I'm going to get another one. And if someone dies, listen. Yes, and this is real now. There are people dying around us with COVID. But instead you're going to say, listen, I am going to persist. I'm going to keep going. I will make it. Everything, folks, is a choice. And that's what I want to say. Everything in life is a choice. We choose. We choose. So remember I said, for us to overcome that resistance to fear, what we have to start doing is setting that strong vision of what we want. Remember I said that, where we want to go. So I want to put this one back up first. And let me just bring it up back over here. One moment. I'm going to bring it back into the feed. Right? And I want to put it back up because this one, this formula, the first steps and setting of the goals. So we don't allow you as coaches to sit down in the dissatisfaction and the fear. Instead, we bring you from the negative into the positive. We say to you, yes, whatever is happening now, there is a way. And we help you to get clarity. 4 roles of a coach is we help you to get clarity, to set a vision of where you want to go for your life and for your business. And then what we do is we help you with the first steps. We teach you. We educate you. We help you to plan. And then we keep you focused and accountable. And so I want to share a couple resources that we have coming up. Right? And this one here, I want to say is our planning session, which is going to be on December 8th. And I don't want anybody going into 2020 without a plan. You shouldn't. You should never go into 2020 without a plan. So this is our Growth Club planning session that is coming up. And I'm also going to put it on the screen below us as well, right? So that it is streaming. So a couple things that we'll be doing is having our Growth Club planning session, which is going to be on December 10th. It's an online planning workshops where all of our clients come in. We never allow clients to walk into 2021, into the next year of their business without first setting a plan. We help them to set goals for the year, and then more importantly, to develop a detailed action plan for the first quarter. And we bring it from the 90 days, January to March, down to the months and to the weeks. You see, when you have a plan, you feel a lot better. You feel more empowered. Remember I said the first steps, these first steps, what make you feel like you can do it is because, guess what? I know how. I know how I'm going to do it. And that gives you the power and the faith and the optimism to overcome that fear. So don't just sit down and sail into 2021 without a plan, just hoping that because the clock changes to January 1 on 2021, that everything changes. It won't. Nothing changes till you change. And if you're a business owner, you should never start the year without gathering your team and planning and setting goals. Your team need common goals. It's like you jump into a boat with all of your team and everybody just sit down. And then somebody goes, so where are we going? And they look at you. But if you haven't set any goals, then what you're saying to them is, well, we're just going to jump in the boat. And wherever the ocean takes us, we go. Yeah, man, let's just sail with the wind. That's what happens, folks, when you start the year without a plan. What you are saying is, let's just jump into this boat called my business, and wherever the ocean take us, we're going. Yeah, man. Then why bother have you? That's what leadership is about. So I say to you, do not start this year without having a plan. And so coming on December 10th, register on that link that I just sent out there. Let me just post it here. Did I post it? There we go. So that is the link for you to register for our December 10th planning workshop, folks. And we're even doing it at half price. It is only 5,000 Jamaican dollars plus GCT. It's the lowest we have ever done, Growth Club. And the reason being, we want you to attend, or the US equivalent. We want you to attend so that you don't start 2021 without a plan. We don't want anybody to fail. We want you to cross over. Right? So that's one of the things when we say we need to understand the first steps. Now, many of us are managing businesses and we do not understand our numbers. So when I say, do we have a plan? The plan is to set goals for the year. And one of them, if you're a business owner, must be revenues and profits. We say in Action Coach, a successful business is a commercial, profitable enterprise that can run without you. So yes, this year may not have been profitable. Yes, this year was just about survival. But you see, come 2021, I need to get my business back on track, and I am going to do what it takes to make my business profitable again. And to do that, we have to understand the numbers in our business, what creates them, and how we actually make them happen in our business. And so the other workshop that I want to share with you is going to be our managing your cash and growing your profits. It doesn't make any sense you trying to overcome this fear without knowing what the first steps are. So if you want to make more profits, you need to learn how. So one of the things we want to do now is invite you to our Managing Your Cash and Grow Your Profits workshop, which is happening on December 8th, is the first session for 2.5 hours to 3 hours, because some of it is for question and answer. And then the other session, so it's part 1 and part 2 on December 15th. So it's the 8th and the 15th. And we don't just teach you. I'll be the coach on that one. And I won't just teach you. What we also do is give you the templates. We give you the tools and the strategies to help you to get there. So remember I said, folks, we can either stay where we are here, resisting change, having the fear, not knowing what I'm going to do, or we can decide, listen, I'm going to come into Action Coaches Growth Club so I can set goals and give myself a vision, set a vision of what 2021 will look like, and let us help you with the first steps in terms of creating that plan. And then also come in to that other workshop, which is this one where we said we want you to now be looking at our how to manage your cash and grow your business. And that one now is to help you to understand all the financials in your business. Many of us wait until the end of the year to look at our numbers because we want to know how much tax we have to pay. The numbers are not for the tax man, folks. They're for you. Just like when you go cricket or any game, you look up at the scoreboard. Your financials are your scoreboard for your business. And I want you to understand, every single decision you made or didn't make shows up in your income statement and balance sheet. It's your report card. All of us run to look at our children's report cards. But if they were to ever ask you, Mommy, can you show me your report card? Or Daddy, can you show me your report card for your business? That's what your financials are. So yes, this year wasn't the best, but we can choose faith that 2021 will be better. But don't just sit down and just go, and faith. No, faith followed by action. So I've given you 2 different workshops. Click on the link, register for them, and make sure, folks, that you don't go into 2021 without a plan and without the knowledge as to how you're going to grow your business. Don't do it. Don't do that. When you do that, folks, it's a failure in leadership. Our role as leaders is to chart the way forward, is to set the vision, it's to align the team around it, it's to equip yourself. We say you have to leverage people and education. Companies don't succeed, people do. Let me remind you, companies don't succeed, people do. John Maxwell says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, walk with others, and the others is your team. So the first thing you have to do is upskill yourself. That's why we coach at the leadership level, at the owner level, at the business owner level. And then we help you with the training and developing of your team. So folks, as we close out 2020, let's step into 2021, choosing instead to have faith, choosing faith over fear, but faith followed by clarity. Faith gives clarity because we have to have faith in something. Let's set that goal. Let's cast that vision so we can achieve the goals for ourselves and for our business in 2021. All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys registering for this. Click on the links. The information is there. Register. We are committed. This is a collaboration between ourselves and the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce. And what we are committed to as organizations is a growth and abundance of Jamaica. Action Coach, we say Jamaica abundance. Never have we needed that statement more than ever now. And Jamaica Chamber of Commerce says we are the voice of business in Jamaica. And the two of us together are determined through these candid conversations and business tips, through the programs we're offering. We are collaborating and having the conversation, introducing you to business leaders. We have another candid conversation coming up this Thursday at 1 o'clock. Hear what others are doing. Don't stay by yourself. Come into a community of like-minded business owners. And yes, you're going to have to invest in yourself. I hear too many people want everything free. You want to go to the party, you want to buy this, you want that, but nobody wants to invest in themselves. If you are that kind of business owner who wants to learn, who wants to grow, then you got to invest in yourself. All right? So folks, have a wonderful day and tune in again on Thursday where Coach Arlene and Ian Nita from the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce will be having another one of our candid conversations. All right, so take care. Choose faith over fear. Every time. Every time. God bless.